Hi everyone, my name is Marina. This is the first video that I'm posting. I'm building a lighthouse restaurant in The Sims. Thought it'd be fun to create this channel where I can post Sims content and maybe some other comfy games. When the update came with the round walls, I thought it'd be really interesting to try to build something like that. At first I wanted to do a restaurant that had the tables on top of the lighthouse, but the round walls are very glitchy still, and it's very hard to put stairs inside of it or even around it, and it looked really weird, so I just gave that idea up. At this point I'm just creating the lighthouse tower, and I did realize that the round pieces that I put in the bottom were too big, so I just redid that with a medium-sized round walls, and that fit way better. The top of the lighthouse, as in the light itself, I did have to improvise. I mean, there's nothing that looks exactly like the light of a lighthouse, and there's nothing that it's as bright as it would be in real life. But I think in the end it looks okay. This bottom bit is like a little house that is going to be actually the restaurant with the kitchen, the bathroom, and the tables. And the restaurant is kind of like English pub inspired, so it would fit really nicely in the cottage living world, although this is the cats and dogs world. It was quite a fun build to do. I mean, I don't use the terrain tools that often, so I do think in the end it works out, but I had to adjust a lot of it. Some of it I didn't even film because it was just too much. It was just taking me too much time. But in the end I just put a bunch of rocks and it looks okay. For the little house at the bottom I used the cottage living bricks, and then for the lighthouse itself I used the dino bricks. And I added some windows throughout, although I did remove the one closest to the house in the end. This is me trying to put a platform just to make it more interesting from inside. I'm gonna put like tables on that bit. This is the bathroom, just figuring out the floor plan, making it bigger because it didn't really fit a kitchen in there. Yeah, so I think I used mostly cats and dogs, cottage living, and obviously the restaurant dine out pack. I just love the cottage living objects. I find myself using them so much, and I just love how they look, and I think it fits really well with the style of this one. Oh, I used university as well. Those tools are from university, so yeah, maybe too many packs, I'm sorry. So with bathrooms and community lots, I always try to put more than one toilet, but this is a very tiny space. It's more like a comfy pub. I mean, I don't even know if you can characterize a pub as comfy and cozy. I think pubs terrify me. It's not my vibe. There's too many old men. The dine out gameplay is so glitchy as it is. I mean, having one toilet is the least of your problems. Just putting some of those couches, I tried to put like a half wall in between them, tried to do something cool with it, but it didn't have enough space, so I just ended up making this long couch thingy. I don't know what that's called, with a few tables. It all works. Have some round tables around it, and there's again the couches in the middle of the round room. As I said, I was trying to go for like an English pub type thing, but those couches always remind me of like American diners. But with the brown, hopefully it's still English, I guess. I put the lights on the wall in this bit instead of on the ceiling because I removed the ground from the floor above this so that it feels more like a tower. I put some TVs as well, but one of them is a bit too high and I feel like I should have put it in a different wall, but it's okay. And I put brick around it, try to incorporate the lighthouse aspect of it, because the whole point is that it's like an old lighthouse transformed into a restaurant. I was really excited when Dino was coming out. I love the idea of owning businesses and having that control in the game, although I find it a bit annoying that you can't be the chef of your own restaurant, but you know, we move on. And I thought with the refresh of Spa Day that we would get more refreshes on packs like this one, and packs that are very glitchy and buggy, but we haven't, and it's a bit upsetting because I really like Dino, but it is a bit of a pain in the ass. It's better now, but still. Ignore the things outside. This is the way that I find it easier to build things. I just go through the list of objects or decorations and I just put everything that I think I can fit in there outside, and then I just slowly build my way up, putting it and decorating it. So it does look a mess outside, but ignore that. Just things to make it look more like a used restaurant, like a used space. But it was really hard because there wasn't a lot of counter space or a lot of wall space even to put them. And also for the tables, I think they're cottage living. There are those jars with cutlery inside of them so that it looks more homely, I guess, more DIY, as if the owner of the restaurant just found those in a charity shop, and they don't really match with each other, but they still look pretty. This part I thought was really cute. I just put that lighthouse lamp on the backs of the couches because I thought it would be cute to have that somewhere in this restaurant. It looks quite dark, especially in the round bit, but if you've ever been to a pub, you know that it's so dim, maybe so that we don't see how dirty it actually is. This wall I tried to put a bunch of frames and paintings just to make it like a pub that has history and has a lot of photos of everything, although the frames are a bit random. I mean, there's some apples and pears, but you know, it has Jerry, so I guess that's all that matters. I did end up changing that just a little bit because I found that WAM, is that the name? The boat steering wheel. I found that, and so I put that in the middle of the wall just because the lighthouse. It made sense. But I'm trying to make the top of the lighthouse. I'm just playing around with the colors. I think the black looks better, although that part was hard for me to figure it out. And also the top of the lighthouse, as I mentioned, I initially wanted for the tables to be there, but the stairs didn't work. So I thought I'll just put some fancy tables and decorate it as if this is like a space for Sims to get married or have their, you know, the reception dinner. Obviously it's not functional in the game. If you want, you can put a ladder up to there or you can just teleport your Sims up there if you want. But I thought the dine out gameplay is so glitchy as it is. It takes forever to be served and to receive your food and to ask for food. So imagine if on top of that, the Sims just randomly sit on those tables instead of the ones downstairs. The waitress had to go all the way up the ladder. It wouldn't work. So it's mostly just decoration. I just put some archways in the middle part. I know that it probably wouldn't look like that in an actual lighthouse. It would be all closed off. Because I imagine it rains a lot near a lighthouse, but that's me just assuming. I know nothing about lighthouses. But I think it looked pretty. I put some plants around it, some planter boxes. The middle part changes a lot. I didn't really know what to do with it, but I did eventually find that model that they have of the world of Bridgerton Bay. So I thought it'd be cool to have that in the middle instead of just the counters that I had or just the seats that I had before. I put this square light in the lighthouse. It's not bright whatsoever, but it kind of looks okay. There is no light that bright as much as an actual lighthouse would, at least none that I found. If there is one, please tell me. And then I put some lanterns in the table, some flowers. So that's the model that I was talking about. And I put some places to sit around that. I thought maybe the restaurant owners would put this at the top to honor the place that the restaurant is. And this is the exterior. I did remove that sign in the end because it didn't really fit with the thing. And I didn't film every part of the exterior and the landscaping because it took me so long and it's really hard to figure it out how to put the rocks because they end up floating. And I put some mushrooms around from Cottage Living because they're really cute. And you can see some of those like loading docks boxes and things like that. Because obviously it's a bit of a mountain, like a hilly thing. So it looks, this is a debug and you can see like how it's just floating and I can't figure it out. Look. But in the end I found a different debug rock that works so well and I love it. It's a cats and dog debug rock. Just basically just showing what I did. I realized that the secret to make the landscape tools look pretty, you just have to put as much stuff as you can and cover as much as the ground as you can so that it kind of looks okay. Initially I wanted to build in Solani because this world already has a lighthouse, but you can't really change the terrain in the beach. I don't know why, but so I couldn't really make a mountain out of it or a little peak out of it like I wanted. The lighthouse itself would look very short. They put some vines and things growing. Most of it is from the Cottage Living, but also those ones that wrap around the house, they're from Debug. Also, I mean Cottage Living Debug, but Debug. I used some of the fences from Debug as well to make it look a bit more rundown. And yeah, just putting some rocks, sizing them up, then putting some grass and things to cover the spaces that the rocks don't really cover. The problem with doing this kind of things is that it always looks a bit weird with the rest of the world because obviously it's a mountain that has no landscape whatsoever outside of the law restrictions, but you know, we do what we can. And I made sure that all the uniforms were red so they match with the colors inside the pub, and it's a seafood menu. This is a lighthouse. It made sense. And this is the final product. I'm quite proud of it. It was one of the first times that I used the terrain tools. I struggled with it a bit, but I think it looks pretty. Yeah, this is the loading part that I was talking before. This is how it looks inside, and look at the steering wheel in the middle. And this is it for me. I hope you liked it, and if you want to download it, it's in the gallery. My name is Cozy Time YT, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.